Good morning, my friends and honored guests. Welcome to our Sunday service. Happy Sunday. I am Reverend Luce LaCour. I am the senior minister of our beloved community, Unity of Citrus. Unity of Citrus is a positive path for spiritual living that is centered in God. Our mission here is to create a loving, healing, accepting community that will support you on your spiritual path, whatever that path may be. Everyone is accepted here. This is an inclusive, diverse community where everyone really understands that we are all a child of God. So when our doors are open, I invite you to please come and visit with us. I would love to meet you and spend time with you. But in the meantime, as I say Sunday after Sunday, visit our website and get to know us. Our website is www.unityofcitrus.org. And on there, you will be able to hear messages of Sundays that have passed, and you'll be able to explore our ministries and everything. It tells you a lot about who we are. So I hope you visit our website. If anyone needs prayer, please remember that you can call the church office and we will make sure that we will have time to pray with you. These are trying times for many of us, and we want to support each other with the positive energy of prayer, for we know that prayer is how we connect with God. So feel free to call our offices if you would like a prayer. Today is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the wonderful people that have, all the men that have, and women that have had to step into that role and be a parent. One of the greatest honors in the whole world is to be able to love and guide a child, to be a nurturing influence that is for the good. So happy Father's Day to each and every one of you men, beautiful men out there, and beautiful people that have taken the role of a father. This is my dad that today I put a picture up there to do a special shout out to my amazing dad, who is truly a reflection of God's love, who has demonstrated over and over and over again how much he loves us. And we love him in return. Happy Father's Day, Dad. So this service today is dedicated to all the fathers. So we'll sit back and prepare ourselves right now to enter into our time together. It's such a beautiful Sunday, full of love, full of appreciation for all the people in our lives that loves us, especially our dads. So would you join me right now in saying our affirmation of oneness? There is one power and one presence in the universe and in my life. God the good, all powerful, all knowing, everywhere present, right here, right now. God. And so with this awareness, let us gently close our eyes and take a deep breath with me. We are going to begin to make the journey from our mind to our heart, leaving behind all the concerns of this morning or anything that we feel needs attention this afternoon, and just really bring our focus gently and lovingly to this present moment. Allowing our heart to become open, receptive, aware that where we are, God is. Aware that wherever we are in oneness with one another. Aware that the love of God holds us all. Aware that there is no separation. Aware that there is only love. Aware that God is the very activity of us that gives us life. It is the breath of God. that moves through us and animates us. So we are grateful for this awareness. We open our hearts and our minds right now, become really centered to be present with one another, full of gratitude, full of anticipation, knowing that this day, this moments that we will spend together will renew us and refresh us and will give us the seed that we need to be able to be transformed. So with gratitude in our heart, we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. The God that is ever present in each and every one of us, expressing divinely beautifully through us. So in the name and by the nature of the living Christ presence that we are, we say thank you and so it is. And so we shall let it be. The light in me salutes right now the light in you. Namaste.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Sunday service. My name is Jennifer Farron. It's a pleasure to be with you this Sunday. We're going to open with a song I wrote a couple of years ago called We Come Together as One. We come together as one. We come together as one. We come together like brilliant rays of the sun. We come together as one. We come together as one. We come together like brilliant rays of the sun. We come together as one. We come together as one. We come together like brilliant rays of the sun. We come together in peace, we come together in peace, we come together with gracefulness and ease. We come together in peace, come together in peace, we come together with gracefulness and ease. We come together in peace, come together in peace, come together with gracefulness and ease. We come together in love, come together in love, come together with understanding and trust. We come together in love, we come together in love, come together with understanding and trust. We come together in love, come together in love, come together with understanding and trust. We come together as one, we come together as one, we come together like brilliant rays of the sun. We come together as one, we come together as one, we come together like brilliant rays of the sun. We come together as one, come together as one, come together like brilliant rays of the sun. Yeah, yeah. Namaste, everyone.
Good morning. My name is Rhonda Banker. I'm reading the Daily Word for Sunday, June 21st, 2020. Father's blessings. I give thanks for all expressions of fatherly love. My relationship with my father may have been positive and nurturing or difficult and challenging. He may have been a strong presence during my childhood, or he may have been absent. We may be a part of each other's lives today. We may be estranged, or he may have passed from earthly life. Whatever our circumstances, I bless my Father, and I see him enfolded in divine love. As I honor my Father, I also honor all the father figures who have helped guide me along my path. Family members, teachers, neighbors, clergy, employers, and friends. I bless them as I recall all the ways each one in a unique way has modeled strength, guidance, wisdom, and patience. Their presence remains with me thanks to their gifts of fatherly love. From Proverbs 4:11, I have taught you the way of wisdom. I have led you in the paths of uprightness. Happy Father's Day.
I'm letting go. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. I give it to God. Release control. Give it to God. Release control. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. Oh, I'm letting go. 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 Give it to God. Release control. Give it to God. Release control. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. I'm letting go.
This time of our service is very sacred. It is a time where we come together to have sacred communion with God. So wherever you are right now, I invite you to become very comfortable. And when you are ready, gently close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Take a deep cleansing breath. And let go. Allow yourself to settle in this present moment. Bring your awareness to the here and the now. And make the journey down to your heart. Allow my words to be your words. God is, I am. I am the love. I am the light of God. I am the strength and the wisdom and the joy and the peace of God. Where I am, God is. The very breath of God breathes me, moves through me. God is. I am. I let go and I rest in the silence, knowing that when I am still, when I am present, when I am here and the now, and I have closed out the world, I have communion with God. I hear the still small voice. So take a deep breath with me and allow yourself, as you release that breath, to be in the silence. Listen and remember. How perfect, how beautiful, how peaceful to be in the silence with the source of our being, to know that divine life flows through us. It energizes us, renews us, and restores us. In this silence, we know our wholeness. In the silence, we leave our cares. So take a deep breath with me right now. And feel that very breath move through every cell of your body. God is, I am grateful. When you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes and feel the difference of knowing that you've had communion with God. Namaste. We continue today with our series inspired by the book of Wayne Muller entitled, How Then Shall We Live? Wayne Muller is a minister, a speaker, author, obviously, and the founder of an organization called Bread for the Journey, which serves many families in need. In this book, Wayne Muller takes us through a journey by asking us questions that take us to the very heart of our search for the meaning of life. He gently guides us in his own way to go within, to those places within ourselves that are whole, where we realize that we are already blessed with the wisdom to live a life that is purposeful and full of grace. The questions that he asks are, who am I? What do I love? How shall I live knowing I will die? And what is my gift to the family of the earth? So today we're going to go dive in and explore question number 3. How then shall I live knowing I will die? And don't go away. I know that many of you are uncomfortable with that topic of death. In this culture, we rarely even speak of it. But death is part of the cycle of life. To reject it, to resist it, will be to reject part of our lives. And that is not something that we want to do. We want to open our hearts. We want to hear its truth. And we want it to allow it to gently guide us into being able to appreciate the beauty and the sweetness of our living days. In the Bhagavad Gita, I always have a hard time pronouncing that, there is a question that is asked, and it says, of all the world wonders, what is the most wonderful? And the answer that's given is this, that no man, though he sees others dying around him, believes that he himself will die. Isn't that true? Intellectually, we know that we will die, but we live our lives as if we will be here forever. We waste a massive amount of our days doing stuff that is not really life affirming and that doesn't really add meaning to our lives and that bring us very little joy. We don't live consciously, acknowledging that our time here is limited. You see, my friends, our spirit, that which is made in the image and likeness of God, is eternal. It's perfect, it's beautiful. It's here to have a human experience. And that human experience that it's here for is not for eternity. There will come a time when our spirit will leave these bodies. These bodies they're not meant to stay here in this human experience forever. So we want to make the best of our lives, our living time here. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that you should be preoccupied with dying. That would be morbid. What I am saying is don't ignore the truth of it. Integrate it into your thinking. And when you do, it's going to change how you live your days. Muller tells in his story, one of the stories about a man named Paul who was diagnosed with an incurable disease. And Muller says that Paul's approaching death clarified his life. He saw it through the lenses that he was dying, and he saw what was true and what was precious and what was valuable and what was beautiful. And being aware of death helped him focus on what really mattered. That's probably why the Buddhists really have this beautiful practice that's called death awareness. Thich Nhat Hanh says that life is impermanent. It is precisely because of its impermanence that we value life so very dearly. We must treasure this gift of life that we have been given, and we must spend it wisely. In the book of James, in the scriptures, chapter 4, verse 14, it says, "What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a while and then vanishes." Wow. This verse speaks quite loudly to remind us that we are not here forever. The time that our life here is fragile, and the value of our time needs to be really brought to our awareness. How shall we live these days of our lives? The Stoics engage in a similar practice as the Buddhists. Their practice is called memento mori. Remember that you will die. Not to be morbid or fearful, but to remember that every day is an absolutely precious, valuable gift. The Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca, he says, let us prepare our minds as if we come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life books each day. The one who puts the finishing touches on their lives each day is never, ever short of time. Let us balance our lives. Let us come to life each day, knowing that this life is absolutely a precious gift. So let's be honest with ourselves. It's really important to really be honest with ourselves. We do not always focus on what truly matters, what really makes us happy. Sometimes it takes an unwelcome condition to come into our lives that will, knock us on the head and, get us off our, rails, I guess, where we're heading strong fast into of our, what we call normal existence, so that we can wake up. And we can wake up and realize what really matters. There's a story in Wayne's book. He tells lots of stories about a woman named Kristen, and Kristen has been diagnosed with cancer. And so she gathers, with her doctors, and she undergoes the surgery, and she takes chemotherapy, and she seeks out other healing alternative modalities. She does the herbs and the acupuncture and all that she can think of to bring herself go through this healing process. And then she takes another step. She decides, I'm going to revamp my life because I don't know how long I'm going to be around. So she cuts back on her work and she begins to spend time being alone with herself and just enjoying her own company and being alone with friends that are really, really meaningful in her life. And she begins to meditate and she begins to garden. And all of a sudden, she starts to pick up things in her life that she has always wanted to do but never did. Like she wanted to learn how to paint, so she started painting, and her life became so much richer, so much fulfilling, so much more purposeful. And she kept saying this, that if I don't do this now, then when? Now her friends who were around her were worried about her ability to be able to weather the challenges that had come into her life. And then they looked again. They looked again once more at her and realized that because of her diagnosis, she was doing exactly what she wanted her life to be like, what she wanted in her life. And then Mola says that the friends were actually feeling a little bit, kind of jealous of her. She was living her life. And then they realized, it hit them, that their time also was finite. Their time was also coming to an end. And therefore, they should begin to think about what they want to do with the rest of their lives. They don't know what tomorrow would bring. There was nothing to stop them. Why not start today? How to live knowing that you're going to die. They didn't need a life. None of us do. None of us need a life-threatening disease or a condition that is so we're shorting our days to realize that our days matter, and that we need to create a life that will bring us greater joy. If you're doing, things that are not bringing you joy, it's time to examine that. So Christian, fortunately, that woman that I was telling you about, she survived. She survived her cancer, and she kept on making changes in her life that made her happy, that made her feel fulfilled. And when she was happy, those around her were happy because she was sending out that energy of joy out into the world. And then she started to expand to help others. And her changes not only changed her, but helped her to change the world. And she tells Muller, these things. She says, I'm so grateful for my life. I don't take anything for granted. Every day is a miracle. Before, I would just make it through the day, moving mindlessly from one thing to the next. But now I feel so much joy just to be alive every day. I'm much happier. My life feels lighter. I only give my care and attention to what really is important to me. And what's important to me is being loving, being kind, creating beauty, and being grateful. Wow. Death taught her this beautiful lesson of life. So really, have you ever really sat down? We talked about this last week. What really matters in your life? What do you love? What should be sitting on the altar of your life that will bring more fulfillment and joy into your life? Because when you are in that vibrational joy, that joy spreads out to everyone else. So how shall we live knowing that we will die? Moses says that if we know we will die, we also know that we are very much alive. And that this life that we have is so sacred because actually, really, this life is the activity of God in us, through us, the breath of God. That's why we always say God is I am. I am here to experience life in its fullness, all of it, the sadness and the joy, the beauty and the horror, the wonder and the magnificence of life, from the very beginning to the very end, the Alpha and the Omega of all. I am here to experience. We all are. And from it, from all of our experiences, we begin to create a life that has more meaning and more depth. Mola offers us some practices that we can apply to our lives that will help us to create a life that really has more clarity, more understanding, that we are not here, we're just here for a temporary moment of time. And that life, we can create beauty with it. We can make a difference in the world. So one of the practices that Moeller gives us, obviously, is the practice of acceptance. He says, accept that there will come a time when your spirit will leave your body. And then if you accept that, it will help you live on purpose every day, present to the very wonders that are all around you. And you will learn not to attach yourself to those things because you know that you're just going to be here for a vapor of a moment, a mist of a moment. You will appreciate it, you will love it, you will grow from it, you will learn from it. A student of the Buddhist said to him, how can you be happy in a world of such impermanence where you cannot protect your loved ones from the harm and illness and death? And the teacher replied by holding a glass. He held a glass and he said, someone gave me this glass. I really like this glass. It holds my water admirably and really glistens in the sunlight. I touch it and it rings. One day the wind may blow it off my shelf or I may knock it down with my elbow from a table. So in a way, the glass is already broken. Even as I hold it in my hand, I know it is already on the floor in pieces. So I endeavor to enjoy it incredibly. Enjoy every moment of your life incredibly. Because there is impermanence. It won't be here forever. Accept the impermanence of all the things on this realm and learn to appreciate more the beauty, the value, and the sacredness of all things. And then he says, practice remembering. Practice remembering. Look at each day as a gift that brings an energy of the sacred. Remember, God is everywhere present. Where you are, God is, and God is truly the essence of all things. So all things are sacred. Everything is holy. I love Daniel Nehemiah's song that he says, everything is holy. Now, when he woke up, everything was holy because he saw the divine essence of God in all things. Father Richard Rohr, he's one of my favorite wisdom teachers of our current times. And he teaches that, he says that, religious organizations sometimes make mistakes that people accept. They buy into it. He said they divide the world, I'm going to read this to you. They divide the world into the sacred and what they call the worldly. We have our regular times during the week and then our particular days at the appointed time where we go to church, a temple, the synagogue, or the mosque, and we participate in the holy. And when we're done, we move right back to the worldly and leave the holy behind. He says, we forget that everything is holy. Everything is sacred. Everything, my friends, is sacred. Even as you walk in reverence with every step that you take. Live your life with the awareness that you're not here forever. There is impermanence. You're not going to be in this human experience forever. Take it all in, accept it, and remember that all of it is holy. Mola says, life is made of days. Each day is an opportunity to say something honestly, to make something more beautiful, to create something precious, to give a gift only we can provide for the family of the earth. To dedicate a single act to the healing of others is a day well lived. Simple things, my friend, simple things add up to days well lived. And then in the end, we can say, we had a life that was well lived. In the book of Ecclesiastes, it says, there is nothing better for you than to find joy in what you are given to do, for doing it is your lot, and none can see what the future holds. So finding the sacredness in everything you do, even a simple act as mowing the lawn or washing the dishes. God, the breath of God is within you, and you are grateful for all that is around you. Everything is sacred. I remember one time, I used to clean the house with lots of loud music, and I would dance around and do all kinds of things. And one day I decided, I think I'm just going to be really present with the moment as I cleaned the house. I shut everything down, and when I did, there was this overwhelming love and appreciation for my very home, the very pieces of furniture that have been with me for so very long, and how somehow I saw, that it was sacred, that it came from the very earth, our Mother Earth, the very gift. I don't know, it was just such a beautiful experience, but only because I chose not to be distracted by the stuff that's all around me and be really present in the moment and realize with appreciation the gift of life that I have. So what is before you to do? It may not be as newsworthy as something grandiose, so at the moment. It may just be as simple, the holding of the hands of a loved one, or comforting a child, or maybe gardening, or caring for your pet. Each of these so-called simple things add beauty and worth not only to your life, but to the world. And the last thing that Moeller asks us to practice is practice gratefulness. Living in gratitude just changes the energy of our days. You see everything differently, not because all is going well, But because you've cultivated an attitude of mind that knows that God is in all things, that you are held in love. And for that alone, our hearts should open up with gratitude. There is nothing that you will face in this realm that you are not equipped for. And when you practice gratitude, you begin to see the divine in everything. You begin to see, you see it like maybe like in the smile of another person, or the laughter of a child, or in the sunrise, or in the sunset, or the sounds of the ocean. Somehow you begin to see divine essence, the divine love of God in everything. You see God. How powerful that is to be able to live like that. Gratitude, my friends, is what opens our hearts to the wonder of life, to the beauty and the wonder and the magnificence and awesomeness of life. It contains the energy that connects us. It has this gratitude, has this, helps us to be connected, to see the world, that we are kind of tied into this fabric of life. Gratitude is the connection. Jesus said, I have come to give you life and for you to have it in all of its fullness. All of it. Take it all in. Live life as if, with the awareness that you're not going to be here forever. That even just kind of even put it into practice, like Nola says, waking up each day and say, today I may die. How will I live my life today? Life is a gift. Treasure it, treasure it. Have the courage to live the life that is true to your heart's calling. Walk with humility, friends, and with reverence for this life that we have, the breath of God that moves through us. Live the life that your heart is calling you to live. It is said that on a dying bed, one of the greatest regrets that people have is that they never lived the life that they desired. They lived the life that others wanted for them. Let not that be your regret. So I leave you with this. Muller says, the heart of most spiritual practices is simply this. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. You are a divine spirit, created the image and likeness of God, having a human experience. Remember what you love. Seek those things that bring you joy. Seek those things. Pay attention to the things that you love, your family, the things that you care for, your friends. Give them your time and your attention. Remember what is sacred. Remember that God is in all things. Remember what is true. Remember that you will die and that this day is a gift. Remember that you have the power to choose how you will live it. Namaste. Our time together is always so very short. We are moving into our practice because in unity we believe that it's not enough to know the truth. We must always practice what we know to be true. And what we know to be true is that God is our source, that all that we are, all that is, God is the source. And so we get from that understanding to this community so that we can continue to do the work that we've been called here to do. Your generosity has helped us in so many ways. I say thank you to you. It has helped us to keep up with the technology that we need to continue to bring the services to you. It has kept us, helped us to meet our obligations, and our hearts are just overflowing with gratitude for each and every one of you. And we see each and every one of you abundantly blessed. And as you give, know that you shall receive. So I ask you to take your love offerings right now, any donations that you want to make, anything, just take them in your hands. Or at least let's just bless them. I know that you can go to the website and make the donations or mail in a check or whatever, but let's just visualize that giving that you're going to give, and let's bless it by saying, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. I send forth this gift with my blessings and with my love. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. This is my prayer. I now use the gifts I have and bring them to the table, filled with all life's passion. Lord, I'm willing and I'm able to loose these chains of doubt I've had, watch them disappear. Moving through my life as everything's becoming clearer, 'cause I am a light in this world, and I'm a child of sacred word, and I have gifts that I choose to bring. My path is blessed each day. This is the prayer I pray. Searching for compassion in the ignorance of youth, guided on my way from day to day. I learn my own truth, do my best to learn the first time, so the lesson's not repeated. Fill myself with mighty strength when I feel defeated, 'cause I am a light in this world, and I'm a child of sacred word, and I have gifts that I choose to bring. My path is blessed each day. This is the prayer that I pray as each dream awakes inside my heart.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us today. It is my sincere prayer that our time together has uplifted you. I ask you to join us again next Sunday. We will be concluding our message uh, that has been inspired by Wayne Muller's book, How Then Shall We Live? For until now, I wish for you a joyful life, a life where you can see the beauty in every day that you live, that you will know the sacredness of this wonderful life that we have, and that you will live it on purpose. So I ask you to support us by sharing this video. Share the video, go to our YouTube page and not only like, but leave a comment. That would really help. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share this message. You know, we are all trying to bring out this unity message to the world. We know how transformative it can be. So you and I together make a difference. So I love you. I bless you. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I see nothing but beautiful things unfolding for your life. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Namaste.